Hello and welcome to Sakura Isekai Adventure. Lynx here, playing the game and narrating for you and trying to make female character voices and so on. The game is fun. Let's continue. Time begins to pass after Mina's declaration that we simply need to work harder, as it always does. 1 week goes by in a flurry of activity and then another. Oh! Are you telling me you are hunting more slimes? Then before I know it, I've been in Anthem for a whole fortnight. During this fortnight, my party, spearheaded by Mina, takes on numerous requests at the local guild. I think she's hoping that by exposing the three of us to continued battle, our skills will eventually improve. I mean, that should work like that, yes. Mina still has no clue as to who kidnapped Luna. Maybe she ran away on her own, you know, if you think about it. But she seems convinced that they must be powerful, an assumption which is fair, given they were able to bypass numerous guards to ensnare her. Huh. If we have any hope of retrieving the missing priestess, we need to get much stronger. I know that this is important. I'd even go so far as to call it imperative. I want to get better at my own swordplay skills too, if only to reassure Mina. Oh, for the goddess sake! I can't believe it is still taking you so many blows to take down simple slimes, Aki! What is wrong with you? But my best efforts don't seem to be enough. I know, I mean, who knows if Kendo would be effective against slimes and monsters, etc. I have no clue. I'm working hard, really, I am, but I've not made much progress. In fact, I'm not sure if I've made any progress. 1 fortnight in, and I'm still struggling to take down the simplest of enemies. Slimes shouldn't pose you with this many problems. They're weak enemies even beginners ought to be able to best. And let's not forget, she was never like an adventurer, fighter of, you know, life and death situation, etc. So, why is this so difficult for Yaki? Don't tell me that sword of yours is just for show. You purchased that. Well, I look at the ground, my lower trembling. It feels an awful lot like I'm back in the office, being chewed out for my boss over some minor photocopying problem. I thought that I'd be able to get away from all of this after coming to Anthem, but it feels like nothing's changed at all. This is so embarrassing. And besides, technically it's not like you wanted to either. I did my best, but if that is your best, then I'm beginning to despair in you. I thought you said you had some experience with using a sword. Again, not life and death, but why do? But then why are your blows so lacking strength? It's like you don't want to defeat the enemies. Don't tell me you are not taking it seriously. Luna's life could be on the line here while you are dilly-dallying with these slimes. I mean, on the other hand, technically, why should she care? It's not like someone she knows. To be honest, we've heard that's a case in every freaking, maybe not every, but it's a case in isekais in general. In some of them, you get summoned to the other world, and you are basically dropped into, okay, you need to save the world. And why should I care? I'm not from here. I never wanted to come here, right? Kinda is like that. Why is there no anime like this? I think there isn't, at least. Maybe there is, but I feel like there isn't. There should be one like that. That they force summon you and you're like, listen, I couldn't care less. And walks away. And do her own thing. Without caring about what was summoned for or whatever. Anyway.
No, that isn't it. I'm taking this seriously. Kendo is just a sport. You aren't supposed to actually hurt your opponents during it. Doing that is considered bad form, actually. And what is the point, I ask, in learning a style of swordplay when you aren't supposed to defeat your enemy?
Sport.
What practical purpose does it serve? I mean, good exercise. It helps keep you limber. Well, I concede to you on that point, at least. I do not know very much about swordplay. I find all physical fighting styles rather uncouth, but you seem to be quite fast on your feet. Your reflexes are not bad either.
I mean, given the fact that she saved your life, I'd say they are good.
But your raw strength is abysmal. It is like you are not taking this seriously.
What are you talking about? Strength does not come over here from taking or not something seriously.
That isn't true. I'm trying really, it's just... Well, try harder then, otherwise we shall not make any progress.
Honestly, I would just stumble. Seriously, she should just walk out. It's your problem, not mine. Go save your Luna, or whatever her name is.
Hey Mina! Time calm down, don't ya? Sure, it took us a little time to take down those lives, but we still did it in the end. Aki was able to score quite a lot of clean hits, her position is starting to sneeze dead, even if she's lacking in strength.
Yeah, and... raw strength or not, it's not something you develop over a freaking night. Or over just 1 week, right? Anyway.
I think you should try to be a bit nicer to her. Cut her some slack, don't ya? Cut her some slack.
Mina rounds on Scarlet, her tail twitching in anger.
How can I cut her some slack when I'm worried sick about my poor priestess?
Dude, also it's so weird that technically it's her fault that the priestess was supposedly kidnapped and she's still attacking others. Who does not have a reason to even care about that priestess being kidnapped, to be fair. Anyway.
I have no idea what's happening with her right now. I have no idea where she is or whether she's hurt. She could be in a grave danger, for all I know, which is all the more reason to look after her.
More like look for her, but...
I need to find her, but I cannot do that with the two of you.
Then go ahead and do it yourself. You know, Scarlet might have been, in a way, annoying, like, you know, the fact that she's jump the gun type of person with the dangerous stuff as well. You know, jump without thinking in, basically. But... yeah, I think Mina over here has no sense of certain topics as well. And so am I. Not sure if I should be saying all of that, but whatever. That one for? Wow. Honestly, dude, say something like that, I'm out. Again. I feel like I went away from this party like 3 times by now.
You're much too cautious, Aki, and you?
Mina glowers at Scarlet.
Are much too reckless. You dive in without thinking and then you get hit by attacks. You really ought to be able to dodge.
Someone should point out Mina's problems then. Please, someone.
You're always getting into scrapes, so I have to keep wasting my reserves of magical energy on healing you. It's so tedious. Well.
Don't come on, point something out at her.
Guilty as charged, I guess. You're both guilty. You're guilty of being terrible team members.
Yeah, because you are such a great team member. Whoa, team. Whoa, yeah. Pizza party for everyone.
This is all hopeless. We are hopeless.
Oh, we are saying we. That's good.
I feel like I'll never be able to rescue my priestess. We're all losers. Hey, Minna!
I still say it like we are, you know, Minna! Everyone. Anywho, Scarlet's eyes soften in concern. Alarmed, she hurries over to Minna's side.
Oh,
She winds her arms around Minna's waist, perhaps in an attempt to calm her down, and then says,
try not to worry too much, alright? Everything will be alright. I know this might not look too hot at the moment, but I'm sure it will all work out in the end.
oh. Minna inhales sharply. Her shoulders look tense and her eyes are narrowed. Okay, to be honest, I don't want to get out from this team, you know. I still want to see what's gonna happen. Her hands, meanwhile, are clenched into fists. She takes a deep breath, her chest expanding beneath her tightly fitting outfit. But in a quiet voice, which contrasts her earlier outburst, she says,
and where, may I ask, are you getting this quite frankly ill-deserved confidence from? What makes you think that everything will work out in the end? Well, that's obvious. It's because you have just and noble soul, of course. I wouldn't be so sure about it. A noble soul. That's right. I can tell that you're an ally of justice.
ugh.
One who will do anything to protect other people. You decided to put a part together, didn't you, so you could rescue your priestess? That speaks volumes about your character. I think that you're a very admirable person. You're a hard worker, and you have a gentle, sensitive spirit.
Oh, I don't know about that.
You're so sensitive. In fact, that's probably why it grates on you when things don't quite go your way. But I think the world is a fair place.
No, it's not.
And kind people like you are always rewarded in the end for their hard work.
Should someone tell her? Okay, what you need to learn through life, or you will be like disappointed a lot. I'm gonna give, I don't know, I mean, I would assume that given that age group on the channel is over 18, they would know already, but if you don't, just in case, maybe you're still a university student. Sadly, you have to be prepared that it's not as Scarlet is saying. World is not a fair place, and kind people are actually not rewarded that often. That's a sad part. That's a sad part. Anywho.
That's just how things go, so try to keep your chin up. No matter how big things might look at the moment, you just need to persevere. If you can trust in yourself and us too as your teammates, then everything will be fine. I'm sure of it.
Minna falls quiet for a few moments, her lips pressed together. Is she actually taking Scarlet's words to heart? I'm starting to think that everything might be okay, but...
Oh, please!
Minna pushes Scarlet away from her instead, using so much force Scarlet tethers. Then her face tightened and contorted with fury, she yells,
Things will not be alright! How can they be when our party is a disaster? I'm doing the best I can, my limited reserves mana notwithstanding, but you do not seem to be trying at all.
By the way, your freaking mana sucks. That should be pointed out. Because previously you restored barely any at all, despite a night's sleep. And now you are still speaking of that. Like, how can a supposed witch mage not have a lot of mana, like, in general? Have you not been investing your points into mana? Anyway. You'd expect basically a witch or mage, you know, that type of class basically, to be able to not complain at every step about, you know, being at your limit of mana. Anyway,
You have been treating this all like some big game. Scarlet, and you
Mina glares at me, her nostrils flaring.
have been useless. Yeah, that's right, you heard me. You struggle to defeat even the weakest of monsters in every skill battle. Either I or Scarlet has to bail you out. You're supposed to be helping me find Luna for the present. I doubt that you could find your way out of paperback. I have no idea why I ever thought you would be a worthwhile band member. You're useless.
Alright, I'm out. Come on. Right now we are out.
This has all been a disaster. I suppose it's true after all what they say. If you want something done right, you really should do it yourself.
Then go ahead.
I think that would have saved me a lot of hassle.
Go ahead.
What you mean, Mina? You can be planning to find your priestess yourself, can you? Yeah, that's exactly what I mean to do. I can tell them. I can tell that I'm just wasting my time with the pair of you. I want nothing to do with either of you any longer. I've had it. Mina, wait!
Honestly, let her go. Just let her go. Scarlet calls after our half-cat girl companion, but to no little avail. Mina has already stalked off, her tail bristling with indignation. I watch her back as she retreats, tramping through the forest. Loose leaves and twigs snap beneath the soles of her boots, and the hem of her cape flutters. We're pretty deep in the forest, and it's densely packed with trees. It doesn't take long at all for Mina to disappear from view, her slender body soon swallowed up by the foliage. Silence descends in the face of Mina's absence. Then Scarlet frowns.
Well, gee, it looks like she was serious. Are you really surprised about that? She's always serious. She hardly ever smiles.
I think we've not seen that even once.
Good point, she's not really one to joke around. In fact, I'm not even sure if she can joke around.
Doubt.
I think they must stamp the impulse out of you at the Orichalcum Academy. Mina's mentioned her old school before. It is very strict. It's a school for mages, so yeah, I think so. I've never been there myself, but I've heard stories. It sounds like a miserable place. Which might explain why Mina's such a miserable person.
Hell yeah. Scarlet grins at me, then stretches. She raises her arms above her head, then looks ponderously around the forest.
So what do you think, Aki? Should we go after her? I feel like I would too. I don't like the...
Where is my choice? I thought I'd say no. I totally would know. Why would you go yourself into a freaking toxic environment? Don't.
I feel like we ought to. I don't like the thought of abandoning her, but... Well... Isn't she the one who abandoned us?
Yeah.
I suppose so. She didn't look like she wanted us to follow her either. If we tried, she might shout at us. Not that it'll make much change, I suppose, given the way she treats us already. You know what? She shouted so much already. My poor ears are still ringing. They're pretty sensitive, actually. I'm surprised she didn't attract any monsters. She was so loud.
Well, oh.
Would she be alright, do you think, if she did get ambushed by monsters? Well, I wonder about that. She might have been lying to us earlier about our combat skills, but Mina's even weaker than we are.
True. I freaking knew it.
It looks like there's still something screwy going on with her mana.
Yeah.
The way she is now, she can't cast anything more advanced than a few simple metal spells and some weak-ass heals.
Yeah.
She'll be fine, I guess, if a few slimes attacked her, but...
Okay, that was more of an attack scream, I guess. At that moment, a loud scream pierces the quiet air. It's so panic it makes my blood run cold. I think I recognize his voice, for I've certainly never heard it sound quite like that before. It could only belong to one person. I think I've not heard anything. Huh. Must have been the wind, to be honest. It must have been the wind. But wasn't that Mina?
You know what? I think you're right. It looks like she's gotten herself caught up in something troublesome after all. And I doubt based on that scream she's fallen foul a couple of slimes. Do you think something serious happened? Oh yeah, I'm prepared to bet my title as the Scarlet Whirlwind of Justice on it. You said yourself earlier, Mina's serious and she's proud. She's a witch, so it stands to reason. They like to think they are all too powerful. They hate showing weakness to anybody and their own party members. Something pretty bad must have happened to make Mina scream like that. Eee! And like that! Shit!
Scarlet grabs hold of her halberd.
This sounds like a job for a Scarlet Wheel of Justice. I can hardly sit by while a pretty maiden life's in danger. Will you come with me, Aki?
Where's my choice?
Well, of course, that should go without saying. But if Mina is in danger, I doubt she wants us to see her like that. She'd be even angry with us then. You're probably right. You and I both know she's busy. But I'll put up with a number of insults from her so long as I know she's alright.
You will? I wouldn't.
Her safety is my top priority. We're a team, even if she doesn't want to be team anymore. So we need to stick together. Right.
I still have a few doubts about this, but Scarlet sounds very convincing. I'm not convinced. I have thought in the past her bullish personality can be a bit of a bother, but it's rather useful here.
Yeah.
It's nice to have somebody on my side who can make snap decisions without hesitating.
Yeah.
If it were me, I'd probably be dithering but not Scarlet. If you were me, you'd be on your way the other to the other side of the forest. She never seems to doubt herself. She's so headstrong, bold and confident. It's enough to make me think she really does deserve the title of the Scarlet Whirlwind of Justice. She eats with her mouth full. Oh, yeah, terrible. And she snores at night. Oh. But despite all of it, I think Scarlet's pretty cool. She's okay. The two of us dash through the forest, following the source of Mina's panicked screaming. We twist and we turn, avoiding all the trees which block our path until eventually...
Oh my. Man, I don't believe this!
What do you see? We enter a clearing. The clearing is fairly spacious, fringed on all the corners by the trees. The grass in the clearing is tall and it's studded with flowers. Since the trees in the heart of the clearing are sparse, the sunlight can filter down onto the forest floor without any obstacles. It's bright here, almost blindingly so.
This is even worse than I thought! What's a monster like this doing out here?
What kind of? But that isn't the reason behind Scarlet's distress. Her attention has been captured by a monster, one far bigger than anything we faced before. What is it? This monster isn't humanoid like a pixie, and it isn't gelatinous like a slime. What, like a troll or something? It's a tall, towering thing, something which seems more like a plant than an animal. Oh, I know. Oh, what's the name for it? I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the name. Its head is akin to a giant flower, one with noxious red petals, which makes me think of the poisonous frogs you can find in the Amazon. Okay, maybe I don't know what you're talking about. It supports itself on a cluster of gnarled, twisted roots, which seems to serve as feet. From its body protrude innumerable vines, all of them thick and twisted. Okay. I mean, in a way similar to what I was thinking, but not the same. These vines look to pack a pretty powerful punch, I can tell as much, for I'm not in range of them because one of them collide with the ground. The resultant shoot from this collision is monumental, so much so the air beneath my legs seem to quake. When the monster retracts its vine, I can see a fairly sizable crater in the ground beneath it. Oh. You definitely don't want to be hit by that. If a person got caught up in that, they break a bone or two at very least.
Stay back, you weak monster! Do not think about coming close to me. If you do, I will cast a spell on you! I have very magic in this spell. I'm not afraid to use it!
She says so while you know, shaking like crazy. And neither does it bode well that Mina is here, cowering before this mighty monster. This must have been the reason why she screamed. Fortunately, Mina doesn't seem to have hurt herself. Her head is on its neck, where it ought to be, and all of her limbs are in place, each of them looking decisively unpulverized. Unfortunately, however, the monster has her backed against a corpse of trees. I don't know what the range of its vines are exactly, but I'm afraid one good strike would be able to knock Mina aside like a ragdoll. It's true enough, I guess, that Mina does know magic, but as Scarlet mentioned, her spells suck.
There's no way she'll be able to take that thing down on her own. She doesn't have enough mana. Like every single day. She's sitting duck right now, despite her threats. Not that the monster can understand her. I don't think it has a firm grasp on our language. It will just see Mina as a tasty snack. Do you think that thing would eat her? Oh yeah, that's how mandragoras work.
Mandragoras! Okay, so the description was a little different than what I was thinking, but yeah, that was what I was... how did I forget that name?
You see that flower on the top of its head? It can open up, it drops its victims inside, then it dissolves them slowly. Nom, 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 nom. It isn't a pleasant way to go.
How do you know? Have you tried?
Or so I've heard. Oh no.
My face blanches. Scarlet's expression is visceral enough that my imagination is beginning to kick in overtime. I'm not even afforded the chance to feel proud that I can now identify this monster. At the moment I couldn't care less that it's called a mandragora. All I want to do is keep it away from Mina.
Oh, we can't let that thing get to Mina. We need to protect her. I agree. I do wonder why these monsters in this part of the forest fall. They don't usually venture this close to human settlements. But we can worry about that later. For now, we need to keep that ugly thing occupied. The Scarlet Whirlwind of Justice is on the scene. I will not let you lay so much as a single hand. You mean vine? That's what I said. I won't let you lay a single vine upon our dear companion. You tried and you're a dead plant. Do you want me to cut you down?
The monster doesn't reply to Scarlet's provocations. I don't think it can. It might have mouth lurking beneath that large flower of its, which it used to consume its victims, but I don't think it's mouth that was made for human speech. Scarlet herself was the one who said it can't understand us, wasn't she? She's probably wasting her time, in that case, calling out it. But at least she's distracted the monster from Mina. There has to be a good thing, if nothing else.
Hey.
Mina however can understand human speech. Well, one would hope so, given those large ears of hers. I thought that her fear of the mandragora might have made her insensible to her surroundings, but apparently not. Mina whips her head about, then stares at me and Scarlet. She blinks. Then she cries out, her voice choked with panic.
What are you two doing here? What do you think we're doing here? We've come to rescue you! Well, I assume as much. You really needn't have bothered for. As you should be able to see, I'm doing just fine on my own. I had the situation quite under control. Oh yeah? Are you sure about that? That's quite a bold claim to make, since you're lying on the ground trembling in fright. I'm not afraid, I'm simply cold. Oh, cold?
Scarlet frowns.
But it's only sunny in this clearing, how can you be cold? I just am alright, I'm not afraid, not one bit. It will be becoming of a proud mage, as such as myself, to feel fear while facing off against opponents such as this. Mandragoras might look threatening, but they have nothing but their sheer sizes to command them. If my mana was now suddenly depleted, again the same excuse, I would be able to best this creature in an instant. Oh yeah, I'm sure you could, but your mana reserves are low, all the way slow. You can't burn these things up despite your claims, so you might as well sit back. Just let me and Ducky take care of this. Hack!
Mina frowns.
What in the world is she going to do to a mandragora? She can barely defeat slimes. It is highly unlikely that she will be able to take out a monster like this.
Honestly, dude, Aki, I don't get how you have not walked away from this, by now. I don't get it. I grit my teeth together. Mina's dubs are painful, but they aren't wholly misplaced. Still, I mean... I can't say blame her. I will then. I did do a rather pitiful job during my past attempts at fighting. I mean, I assume so does every single one of the beginner adventurer. It takes me more blows than it should be to cleave through slimes, and they aren't very strong. Will I be able to take down a monster like this? I'm not so sure, but...
Be that as it may, I have to try. My strength might leave some to be there, but I'm not going to back down now. Worst case scenario, I die. I know that finding that priestess is important to you, Mina.
I point the tip of my sword towards the Mandragora.
So I'm not going to go down without fight. Scout, I will defeat this creature, and I will leave this forest together. We'll find your priestess. Everything will work out. So don't you worry about me, I might be afraid, but I'm still going to give this my all. I'm finally going to start fighting seriously. At the kill! At the kill! I also you got to disagree. I have faith in you, every faith in you. And so now let's show this stupid plant who's the boss. Right.
The monster lurches forwards. It vines outstretched, but I'm too quick for it. I jump nimbly to one side, then parry. I thrust my sword out, the blade glinting silver end. My blade slices clean through the vine, which shot out towards me. Mina saw that my strength was an issue earlier, but I'm not going to let my own anxiousness hold me back any longer. While I was fighting before, I was sticking too closely to the principles I learned when I was practicing kendo, namely that it was a noble sport which shouldn't bring about any pain. I think part of me wanted to preserve the elegance of my former fighting style. I mean, you can still be elegant. I swung my sword at the monsters which swarmed me, but I didn't move with any real conviction. I didn't mean to actually harm my enemies. The mere thought of drawing blood made me feel faint. What? This fight, however, is very different from the ones I've been involved in before. This monster is much bigger than an slime, and it's far more dangerous. One well-placed blow from its vines could shatter a couple of my ribs. That means I can't afford to show any mercy. I'll use the techniques I learned while studying kendo, but now I'm going to push them even further. This time I'm fighting not to win, but to kill. Phew! Scarlet whistles in appreciation as my sword slices through the vine. She jumps back nimbly, avoiding the seared vine as it hits the ground, then grins.
That was pretty impressive, okay? You're a lot of... Hello? You're a lot of... fire than I thought you were.
Is that even actually a word?
But maybe that should go without saying.
I feel like it should be more fired up or something like that. Fire. More fury. That should be the word, shouldn't it? More fury. Fire. Ugh. Again, English is not my first language, but when I see fire, I still cringe a bit here. More fury. Yeah. Anyway.
But maybe that should be go without saying. You are in the eye of the Scarlet Whirlwind after all. Some of my panache must have worn off on you. Yes, I'm sure it did. You've been the master during all our fights until now, Scarlet, but this is going to end. I'm not going to let you upstage me. That monster threatened me now, so I have to strike it down. I won't show it any mercy. Now there's the spirit. Let me help you with that. Sure, feel free to tag along. Just don't slow me down. Oh, scary stuff. That's trying to sound like Mina yourself. I'll have to bring my A game if I don't want to be left behind. So how about this?
Scarlet lunges towards the monster, kicking off against the dirt and drives the halberd into its side. The monster roars, then shakes its leaves, trying to shake Scarlet away. Vine shoots out towards her, one which Scarlet narrowly avoids.
Woo! Shish! That was a close call! It was a little close for my liking. You're being reckless again. We need to fight at full force, but we should also keep a close eye on what the enemy is doing. If you dash in without plan, you'll get injured. Huh? I can take care of our plans very much. I know you mentioned before. But maybe you have point. I don't want to get knocked around by this brute, So what do you suggest? We talk together. I'll call out where the attacks are coming from you, so you can avoid them. This monster is sturdy, but it's also slow. It won't be able to withstand our attacks if we come at it at once. We just need to get one good blow on it and we should be able to win. Alright, I like those odds. The Scarlet well enough just is used to taking orders from others, but if it's from a cutie like you, I think I can put up with it. Now let's start pruning some disobedient strawberry.
Scarlet and I both work in a tandem, both dodging and ducking beneath the Mandragora's flailing vines. Whenever the monster tries to strike Scarlet, I call to her. Scarlet, to your right, you need to adjust your position. And when the monster bears down on me, Scarlet yells to me in turn.
Oh, Aki, you have to move, it's going to get you from the lift.
We both work together to get the monster down, dealing blows against its hide whenever the opportunity presents. The monster might be large, but that's actually to its detriment. It's precisely because the monster is so much bigger that any of the foes we faced in the past that it's unable to lumber out of the way of our attacks. It's so slow it can't escape from us. I dash the monster from the left, while Scarlet takes the right. It can focus on the two of us at once, and this proves to be the monster's real undoing.
Let's end this, Aki! Let's slice it up good and proper! Right, I'm going to give this everything I have. Here it is, my final blow. Me too! How like this, you overgrown houseplant!
Scarlet thrusts her halberd forwards while I swing my sword in an arc. My short sharp silver blade slices through the Mandragora's vines. Scarlet's halberd meanwhile pierces the monster's side. She runs it even more deeply, using the full brunt of her strength.
Take this!
Which finally holds the monster in its track. The large monster lifts backwards, its vines no longer thrashing. It tilts. Then it falls. Its body hits the ground with a toot loud enough to resound throughout the whole forest. A few birds nestled in trees squawk in alarm and take off, fluttering into the blue sky. Tremors meanwhile rock the earth, tremors so violent I almost stumble. I don't however hit the ground. Scarlet hastens to my side, leaving her halberd stuck inside of the unresponsive monster. She catches me before I can fall, just like a brave knight, then looks at me, her brown eyes wide with worry.
Ooh, are you right, Aki? You didn't hurt yourself, did you? No, I think I'm fine. I just lost my footing, there is nothing wrong with me. Ooh, are you sure? Quite sure, I don't think I even twisted my ankle. Ooh, well good. I'm glad to know you're so tough. For I should have anticipated so much. Cuckoo. An ally of the Scarlet of Whirlwind of Justice has to be strong. My influence must have rubbed off on you.
Scarlet relinquishes her grip on me, and when she does, my rapid heartbeat calms.
Whoo! Now let me retrieve my weapon.
Scarlet heads on over to the Mandragora's twitching carcass. Her halberd is still embedded in its side, but not for much longer. Scarlet puts her weapon out to the monster's hide, wincing as a strange green fluid oozes from its hide. Then she turns to look at Mina.
Alright, how'd you like that, huh? Scaredy pants. I guess we're as useless as you thought, huh? Huh?
What? Mina looks between me and Scarlet, her expression dazed. It wasn't so very long ago that she stormed away from us, after declaring that we were the most useless party members she could conceive of. Yet we should do the same now. Let's be bitter and be like, you know, very bitter. Be like, well, the mage is kinda useless. Let's get out from here. I think we might have gone up in her estimation during the battle, however. Heck, I even gone up in my own estimation. I had no idea before I faced off against that monster that I'd be able to defeat it. In fact, I was certain that I wouldn't be able to. My legs were trembling terribly during the fight, and my heart was beating so hard I thought it might burst out of my chest. I was certain that I was going to die. That Mandragora was a much fiercer opponent than any I faced so far. It was a lot bigger than me, and it packed one hell of a punch. That fight really came down to the wire. But in the end, Scarlet and I were victorious. That's something which can be argued against. We faced off against that monster and we were both able to defeat it. I guess I really have come a long way.
I don't believe it. You really beat that thing. That's right, we really did. So you think, huh? That was cool, what? Ho? Really show that monster who's the boss around here. We kick its butt.
I've thrown.
Do you think that Mandragoras have butts? I guess, I mean, how else would they poop? I know they do. They're not exactly animals, even if they can move around. They're more like plants and they don't,
My face flashes.
poop.
Oh gee, isn't this topic a bit juvenile? Why are we discussing whether Mandragoras can defecate or not? Yeah, I wonder that myself. Now is hardly the time. And nobody really cares. Mina seems to be thinking much the same thing because she sighs.
You know, I was wondering whether you had been possessed by a couple of mere capable warriors during the last half an hour. But I suppose not. You're acting just like you always do. Charming and elegant, you mean? Please. I doubt even you believe that you're charming and elegant. Scarlet, if you do, then you're straight up delusional. There's nothing elegant about you whatsoever.
Mina's voice trails off. She glanced away, her arms folded, as a blush spreads across her cheeks.
But you aren't as useless as I first thought you were, I suppose. It was rather impressive that you were both able to take down that monster. If it hadn't been for you, that...
Mina shudders. She doesn't say I would have been crushed into a cowgirl flavored pate, but the implication is there. Mina's still recovering from exhausting her magic after she initially summoned me to Anthem. How has she not replenished her mana yet? How is that possible? Her magical reserves aren't what they were, which limits her abilities when it comes to using defensive magic. I still don't understand how this is possible. If it hadn't been for mine and Scarlet's timely intervention, I don't think she'd be talking to us right now. She'd be ground into the dirt.
Well, anyway.
I guess Mina doesn't want to contemplate the grisly fate she only just escaped because she changes the topic. She looks at Firunas, her face still a little pink, and says,
I appreciate that. It was nice of you coming after me, but I fail to understand why you did it. Huh? What's not to get? Don't you remember you was horribly rude to the both of you? I was in a bad mood, so I wasn't thinking clearly, but that is still no excuse for the things that I said. I insulted both of you, I called you incompetent. I even told you I want to disband our group. I washed my hands off of you more or less. Why would you pursue me after all of that? I have no idea. If I were in your positions, I know that I would not have bothered. I would have abandoned me to my fate. After all the cold, callous things I said, I think it would have been well deserved too. Oh, that's true, I guess. You did say some pretty nasty things to us. But you're forgetting something important, Mina. I am? Yeah! said I was gonna stick by you, and I meant it. You might have gotten sick of me, but I've not gotten sick of you.
Really?
I still like you a lot, no matter how sleepy you are, so of course I wasn't going to leave you to your fate. I'd never be able to forgive myself if I let you get hurt.
But my words must have hurt you too. How could you simply be alright with that?
Well, that's simple.
Scarlet beams, slashing a mouthful of her white teeth. She claps one hand on her chest. Then in a loud, proud voice, which rings through the forest, she says,
I'm the Scarlet Whirlwind of Justice. It's my job to protect people, whether they want to be protected or not, and that goes double for you, Mina. I'll consider an important ally, no matter how happy you are. We're still a team and more than that.
Scarlet takes a step forwards. What? What do you mean? Oh. She wins her arms around both me and Mina, pulling us close. Then she declares, her eyes glittering just like a sky full of shooting stars. A sky full of stars, by the way, such a good game.
We're friends!
Are we really? Oh!
There is a choice, there is a choice, there is a choice. What should we do? What should we do?
Alright. Should we jump into it? Like, proper jump? Let's drop into this.
I'd like to be more than friends.
Privately, I'd like to be even more than friends. Oh. So you're not going to say that. But both Scarlet and Mina feel very soft. I'm enjoying the sensations of their bodies pressed against mine. But I won't come out and say that. I'm afraid it might spoil the mood. Instead I say,
of course we are all friends, what else would we be? I do care about all of you, after all. Same here. I think we've been traveling together long enough to qualify.
Can you even call that traveling? I mean, technically you get the quest from the same guild, so...
But we've only known each other for a couple of weeks. This isn't very much time. Maybe not, but even single second counts. I think it's possible to be friends with somebody in an instant if you click with them.
Can you tell that you three clicked together for... No.
The time you've known them doesn't factor into it. And neither does the other person's feelings, I'm afraid.
I beg your pardon, what are you babbling about now?
I mean, silly Mina, I still consider you a friend, even if you don't consider me one. It's pretty simple. I don't care if you dislike me. Heck, I don't even care if you despise me. I still think you're cute, and you're talented, and you're very, very determined. Sure, you might be a little too serious at times, but maybe this only seems that way to me because I'm such a goofball. You have a lot of commendable qualities, so of course I'd want you to be my friend. I think that's very logical. You mean a lot to me.
Scarlet grins at Mina, then turns to look at me.
And so do you, Aki. Don't think I've forgotten you. You're also precious to me in your own way. I like how you act so quiet and unassuming, but when things get serious, you spring into action. You're really cool.
Cool. My face begins to burn bright red. If Scarlet thinks I'm cool, the fierce blush I'm currently sporting should dissuade her from this silly notion. I feel anything but cool at the moment. In fact, I'm pretty warm.
I'm not. Yes, you are. You're cool and Mina's cute, and I like both of you.
I still do not think that I'm cute. Okay, that's definitely not true. I would rather be capable or confident. Okay, that you have way too much confidence overall.
They seem like much better compliments. Well, of course, you're both of those things too, but your cuteness overwhelms everything else. You're mega derps. I think that's just another way of saying cute. It is indeed.
Scarlet grins.
You're the bestest party members a heroine of justice like myself could hope for. And you're also my best friends, no matter what you say. Oh, right, I see.
Mina sighs.
Is there any way I can convince you otherwise? Nope. You're welcome to dislike me if you want, but my feelings for you aren't going to change anytime soon. You're simply too adorable.
Mina sighs.
I take issue with a great number of things which are coming out of your mouth right now. But I do appreciate that you and Taki came to rescue me. You did not have to, but you still did. You have both proven yourself to be steadfast, stalwart, companions without a shadow of doubt.
Once again a blush spreads across Mina's cheeks. She looks between us, unsure of herself, then mumbles.
And I don't suppose I would mind being friends with you too fully either. If you want to be, that is. I would not like to force a friendship upon you, but if you're willing to forgive me for my earlier outburst, then... Well, of course I'm willing to forgive you. What else are friends for? The Scarlet Justice doesn't hold grudges, not when the other person has repented. I think you're too cute to be mad at. But what about you, Aki?
Scarlet looks at me curiously.
Do you forgive me now? Well...
I exhale. It's true enough that the things Mina said hurt, but I don't think she was entirely incorrect in saying them. I mean, she could have worded all of that better, way better. She was only stating a fact when she said that our teamwork was sloppy. For quite some time, we were a slipshod party who struggled to defeat even very weak monsters. That changed, however, when Mina was in danger. When faced with some actual stakes, I was able to tap into my true potential. I almost feel like I should thank Mina for talking, make that shouting some sense into me. If she hadn't lectured me, I doubt I would have had the impetus to push myself that hard. It's all because of Mina, in a way, that I was able to best that monster. For granted, I wouldn't have had to best that monster if it wasn't for Mina. She put both me and Scarlet in a tricky position, there is no doubt about that, but...
Of course I forgive you. I know that you're just anxious, because you want to find your priestess. That's why you've been in such a poor mood. You're worried about her, which is understandable. But try not to fret. I know how serious you are about her, and I want to help you. I'm going to fight by your side, Mina. I'm going to stay with you. I'll help reunite you with your priestess if it's the last thing I do. Same here. I can't rest at night knowing that some sweet, gentle...
That's not how you ride gentle.
Priestess has been kidnapped by some ne'er-do-wells. When I get my hands on the brigands who kidnapped her, I'll run them through and I'll do it for your sake, Mina. I won't let anybody upset you ever again. Me neither. I'm going to do my very best. What? But you shouldn't feel obliged. I'm the one who dragged you into this mess. If you resented me, understand. Maybe I did resent you a little bit in the beginning. I didn't want to be adventurous in the first. And fighting monsters was very strange to me. It was scary. But it's less scary when I'm with you, Mina.
Oh, would you like that? A spam call. Alright, fuck this.
It's less scary when I'm with you, Mina. I like you a lot, even if you lecture me. And I want to be your friend. That's right, we're all friends. If you work together, there's nothing we can do. We'll be unstoppable. The Scarlet Ninja Justice is going to do her very best. You too.
Mina looks between us. She blinks, her eyes sparkling. Her irises look suspiciously moist. She isn't going to cry, is she? I wonder this for a few moments when... Contrary to my expectations, Mina snorts. She giggles, her shoulders rising and falling. Let's go, finally! Then, amusedly, she says,
You're both so silly. But I'm glad I met both of you. I'm glad that you're adventuring with me. And I think you're the best friends I could have ever hoped for.
With our greatest threat, thus far, defeated and our bones stronger than they ever been, Scarlet suggests that we head over to the tavern to toast to our success.
We're amazingly awesome back there, if I do say so myself, so we need to drink to it. There is no better way to celebrate a job well done. I think we've earned it and you're looking pretty stiff, Mina. A few swings of ale ought to help you forget the fact that you know, nearly died. Yes, thank you. You don't need to remind me.
I feel like they should take at least a part of that Mandragora for. Get it to the guild. I know it wasn't a quest, right? But, you know, maybe they could still be rewarded for that. Or maybe cut it into pieces so you can sell it? Would some pieces of Mandragora sell? Dude, I'm totally going merchant mode. But, you know, it's money, okay? You need it. So... Mina and I slowly only sip at a flagon of ale. Neither of us are big drinkers. Well, Scarlet chucks the stuff back with wild abandon. Yeah, well... Surprisingly enough, when I did go drinking, I would be better drinker than others, but... Still, I'm not a fan of alcohol. I can't call myself big drinker, I would say. In a sense that I drink overall, you know, a lot. It rarely happens. I bet my my body acceptance for alcohol dropped considerably for... Anyway. I'm a bit worried she'll drink too much in her merriment and she'll knock herself into an unresponsive stupor, but that doesn't seem to be a problem. She's quite sturdy. Thought maybe I should have been able to guess as much. Scarlet is the self-proclaimed Scarlet Whirlwind of Justice, after all. What sort of Scarlet Whirlwind can handle a bit of alcohol? Once Scarlet is satisfied that we've celebrated enough, we pay our tab. It's quite pricey, but I suppose we can worry about it tomorrow, then head back to the inn. Yeah, leave tomorrow's problems to tomorrow's you, right? Why not? By this time, the sun has set and the sky is full of stars. Scarlet grins as she steps inside our room, then declares,
I never thought I'd be so glad to see this old place again. There's nothing better than coming home after withstanding a fierce monster attack.
Apart from drinking after withstanding a fierce monster attack?
Oh, apart from that, yeah, you know me too well, lucky.
Well, we hope that I know you're friends after all. I blush at when I say word friends, and I don't think it's down to the alcohol's influence. I can't help myself. It's been a long time since I had any friends. I think the last time I had any friends, who weren't online I mean, was back in high school during my Kendo Club days. Wow. That's, in a way, problematic. Meanwhile, I'm here actually having friends at the age of 30. Not many of them, but still. The truth takes me back.
That's right.
But I don't have much time to get all nostalgic, because a beaming Scarlet is slapping me on the shoulder.
We're friends, we're the best friends that ever were, and we together, we make an unstoppable team. I'm so proud of us. We're incredible.
I think the pair of you did a passably good job when you fought that Mandragora. But it was just a single success. Don't let it get to your head. Not like that alcohol so obviously has. We still need to keep our wits about us.
True, suppose. But we can worry about the future later, whenever it might happen. Right now I still want to have a lot more fun.
What sort of fun? I asked Scarlet with some trepidation. She doesn't want to play a game, does she? She does look like a shogi type or a go type. Japanese games. What about Mahjong? Do they have that in Anthem? I've always been off with Mahjong. Yeah. I don't know the rules of actual Mahjong. Mahjong Solitaire? Leave it to me. Mahjong? I have no clue how it works. It looks like Mina has some concerns of her own about Scarlet's proposed fun because she frowns.
What do you mean by that exactly? And do I even want to know? Yeah, I was wondering about that too.
Why is Scarlet grinning like that? If I know Scarlet, which I'd like to think I do, we've been spending quite a bit of time together recently, then it seems highly likely she's up to no good.
I thought we already celebrated. Isn't that why we went drinking? That's right. We've done the whole hooray for us thing. In fact, I think I might have overdone a bit.
Mina pulls a face. She does look pretty red. She likes to posit herself as being the most sensible, mature member of our party, but she can be pretty impulsive herself at times. Her early attempt at running away being a primary example. Yeah. I think she might have drunk a bit more than she should have. Heck, I'm starting to think that maybe I drank a bit more than I should have done. The beer here is a lot stronger than the stuff I'm used to drinking back home. Clearly not from Poland, you are. I got so heated, I even had to take my fluffy mantle off. I actually noticed that, like, something is missing.
Right now, there is nothing I want to do more than lie in bed and get some sleep. That sounds like a perfect way to cap off the night, if you ask me.
I'm inclined to agree with Mina there, but... Scarlet does look too pleased about this suggestion. She's pouting.
What do you mean perfect? There's nothing perfect about it. Going to sleep is boring and it is even delayed. It's not even midnight yet.
Here's a story from Lynx, because I like interrupting the game sometimes. Did you... Of course you didn't know, but... I thought I want to start with... Did you know when Lynx went out of the city in the previous company he worked at? So basically the company where I spent almost 2 years. I went on like a company event, right? And I was so freaking bored with the evening shenanigans that I just went to sleep in the room. Quite literally. I'm like, fuck this, I'm out. Funnily enough, I also kind of evacuated early because I actually drove by the car. Meanwhile, the others, I guess, most people drove there by buses from like 3 locations. But yeah, I worked remotely there, so that was the case. But basically, I also evacuated early after getting up. Given the fact that I drank, what, I think like 1 or 2 beers, so I was like, yeah, I would be fine like that. Over the night, it would like, you know, dissipate from my blood and so on. So I evacuated early. I was like, okay, shower, breakfast, I'm out. Anyway. But yeah, it was boring. In a way. It was boring to me.
It will be midnight soon enough.
Okay, that's early. Also, you know, you're in a company of people that you might want to spend time with here right now, right? If it was this trio, I would not be like, okay, I'm out to bed. No, I want to spend time with you. Anywho. Mina replies sulkily, her arms folded.
And in case you were not aware, I need my rest more than you do. If I do not sleep enough, I will not be able to replenish my mana. Then I will be functionally useless in combat.
Will you ever replenish your mana for? That's the question. I wonder if she's not replenishing her mana because she's such a stuck up in a way. I feel like her, basically her mental condition in a way might be blocking her replenishment of mana in general. You know what I mean? Like, she's too serious. And that's why she has problems. Like, but anyway.
Well, yeah, that's a thing that can happen, I know.
Scarlet smiles. Then she lopes her way over to Mina, who's sitting on the edge of her bed, and slings an arm around her shoulder.
But ain't the way you usually are. Ain't that the way you usually are, Mina?
What? Mina looks at Scarlet mistrustfully, her lips pursed.
What are you trying to imply exactly? You know exactly what I mean. You've always been useless, or near enough to it during our fights. I mean, remember how I met you? You were getting your ass handed to you by the thief girl, and she was only what, about this high? I don't want to take any cheap shots at your supposed powers, but that didn't make for the best of impressions. Oh, why you?
Mina scolds. Then, as I rather predicted, she might push Scarlet off her.
You should judge me based on that single fight. There were extenuating circumstances at play. Ooh, I don't know what that means, but I'll take your word for it. I figured you were going through a rough patch back then. What about your earlier fight, huh? When you were ambushed by that Mandragora? If it wasn't for me and Ducky, you would have been turned into a cat girl based. I'm a cat woman, not a cat girl.
Mina scolds.
And that Mandragora took me by surprise. If I'd had enough time to counterattack, I would have sinked it in a crisp with or without your help. I'm more than capable of looking after myself, thank you. Oh, that's what you say. But you would have been in a pretty nasty situation if Yuri hadn't shown up, wouldn't you? Well...
Mina looks away, her face flashing. Scarlet must know. In this instance, she's managed to break through Mina's defenses because her smile widens.
Cuckoo, yeah, you would have been a tough spot, you know, you would. It's only because we work on it that we're able to defeat the thing. Which is why you want us to celebrate together too. There'll be none of this going to paternally nonsense. The night is still young and there's a lot I want to do with you and you too, Aki. There's a whole bunch of stuff I want us to do together.
What sort of stuff?
Ooh, let me see.
Scarlet ponders, holding her index finger against her lower lip.
Ooh, there's a bunch I'd like to talk to you about, and all sorts of questions I want to ask you. I'd like it if we could be even closer than we are, since we're going to be a team. But I'm an act first, ask question later, Kandagal. Justice never sleeps after all, so I've always gotta be vigilant. If you're gonna get even closer, then I think we should try and do it physically, just like this. A pillow fight!
I bet it's a pillow fight. You bet. That would be the script, by the way. If we did not play the Steam version. Scarlet shifts closer to Mina, who's still sitting on her bed, and loops her arm around her shoulder once again. She leans in, smiling, and before Mina can protest.
Hey, what are you...
Scarlet presses a kiss against her cheek.
Mwah!
She beams. Then says in a sing-song voice.
See? This should prove that we're the bestest of best friends without a shadow of doubt. We've entrusted our backs to one another during that last fight. So I don't think there is any shame in entrusting our bodies to one another either. I wanna get to know the both of you as well as I can outside and in. If we do that, who knows what might happen. Maybe we really will be unstoppable then.
Alright, so we are going to replenish Mina's mana, the Fate Stay Night way.
Go.
Achievement popped out. Achievement are popping out like crazy, by the way. In a way. I have 4 already today. Meanwhile, in a citadel many miles away. Oh, are we going to who I think we are going to? No, we are not. Is that the priestess?
Ah, it's such a nice night. The moon is so bright. It's so round and full.
You might know that by now or not, but I'm not a big fan of like the goat horns and so on. So she's cute for.
It's very pretty. Oh, on a nice clear night like this, when I can see all of the stars, it makes me feel rather sleepy. Now I wonder, what is Mina doing right now?
Uh-oh.
Is she looking up at the night sky just like I am? Is she thinking about me like I'm thinking of her? And is she planning to come and find me? Staying here hasn't been so bad, but Mina has always been a crybaby. She tries to act strong, but she's very sensitive deep down. Rejection hurts her, and so does failure. She must be so upset that I was kidnapped. I hope she doesn't be blaming herself too much. It isn't her fault. There was nothing she could have done. I do not wish to put too much pressure on her slender shoulders, however, not when Mina already pressures herself so. I'll be fine, even if she does not find me. But what about Mina? I really do worry about her. My precious, adorable, disciple. Phew.
Don't tell me we are done. What? Oh, Inma. That's the name. I keep forgetting. That was short. What the heck? Have we finished this in 4 episodes? Yeah. Holy crap. There are 2 more achievements for, by the way. A quiet moment, a quiet talk. Do we have any CGs left to unlock? Yeah. Alright, we are going on a hunt then in the next episode. We are going to try and... Yeah, there will be 5 episodes. So basically we'll go on a hunt. We'll become the hunter. And we'll try to get the last 2... The last 2 CGs, which somehow I managed to avoid. That is fine, it happens. It happens! I'm not going to feel bad about that. And I guess we'll talk a little bit about the game as well. When we'll be finished with collecting everything. Anywho, for now, this is it. As always, the game is linked in the description, so you can buy it yourself on Steam. I don't know if it is on any other places. You would need to find it yourself. That information. We played it on Steam, so yeah. If you're new around, consider subscribing. That would be obviously very appreciated. Would love you to have you around. We are playing games, and more games. Like this, for example. And like the video if you enjoyed. Also appreciated. For today, that's it. Tomorrow we are getting the rest of the CGs. Hope to see you there. And maybe some scenes as well, I guess. Yeah. Bye bye.